Hey guys, how's it going? Eli here, back with another video where today I'm going to be having a conversation about some of my top picks for booster box investments in 2022. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So as always, we're doing weekly giveaways, and today is the day where we're going to be announcing our 3 winners. For those who don't know on how to enter, be subscribed to the channel, leave a like, and comment down on any of the 3 videos I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And of course, as always, you can enter in multiple times by just leaving a comment on all 3 of the videos, up to 3 entries, of course. And as we continue to grow as a channel, we will give more and more packs away. Each winner will get 6 Fusion Strike booster packs, and then in the upcoming set release, we'll be giving away 8 of the packs from Brilliant Star, because the assumption is we're going to get to 1,000 subs. Not saying it's going to happen, but we're actually getting really close. We're almost less than 100 away, so thank you guys all so much for the support. But jumping into today's winners and then following up with the topic. The 3 winners for today are going to move the face, a little bit of a drum roll. Kimberly Preston, congratulations. She's been a supporter of the channel for a while now. Thank you so much once again for all your support, Kimberly. It is now your 2nd time winning. Congratulations. Scissor Sky, also congratulations to you. And then Bezland and Dial, congratulations to you 3. As always, if you guys wanted to shoot me an email, support@pokemonusa.com. Link should be down in the description to go to my site, and then you can go to the support page at the very bottom. And then we can just send me your information, and I can just ship everything out to you guys relatively soon. But now jumping into today's topic, which I am very, very excited to discuss. So we're going to be talking about my kind of top picks and what I think could potentially be some really good investments or investment opportunities in regards to booster boxes. Now, kind of the main thing that we've really had a discussion about in regards to investments and what we saw in my last 2 investment videos, actually 3 I should say, but specifically the one where I kind of broke down and realized, hey, we found out that booster boxes, although they have a good return, it's actually elite trainer boxes that yield the most percentage. However, with that being said, that doesn't mean that it's not fun to collect booster boxes, as I myself am a booster box collector on top of elite trainer boxes. So it could be a fun breakdown to kind of look and see what I think could be some booster boxes that are either undervalued currently, that will be undervalued soon, because for those people that don't know or haven't been following what's been going on with the stock market, and I talked about this in one of my breakdowns, but everything seems to be crashing. We're gonna get a little bit of an update tomorrow because the Fed is going to be announcing if they're going to kind of change anything with the overall expected raise in interest rates, which could play a factor into whether you see a rally in the market. But honestly, in the long term, aka within the next year or so, I don't see that much of a retrieval in the market, especially when it really affects retail growth, specifically in sales for goods and services, specifically such as Pokemon product. So looking at some of the booster boxes and some of the opportunities. So the first one, I'm kind of gonna get this one out of the way. I'm gonna kind of want to break down the other ones, but I still think it's an important one to talk about. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Evolving Skies. I mean, you guys should have seen this one coming as one of kind of my personal favorites. I talked about Evolving Skies a lot. I think Evolving Skies is an amazing set. And for those that don't know, why Evolving Skies? Well, Evolving Skies, and here's some of the kind of fundamentals I've really talked about in regards to investing, is there's a collectability aspect, there's a playability aspect, and then there's a scarcity aspect. When it comes to Evolving Skies, although it's not super scarce, there is a very much so collectability and a playability currently, because it does have a lot of these EV cards that are very, very popular, very, very high demand. Rayquaza, very popular, very high demand. And on top of that as well, you obviously saw it in regards to competitive formats. Jolteon, very playable. Glaceon VMAX is very playable. Leafeon is very playable. So it's like there's a lot of these cards that not only are desired after because of their competitive playability, but you also have a lot of these cards that people just love to collect, and it's an amazing set for that reason. Now, of course, with that being said, the question is it worth it to invest at its current price? For those people that haven't been following my channel, I've been saying since sub $100, this is the best time you're going to get in. If you got in at that time, congratulations. You've already made 25% return off your initial investment, gross, of course. And if you're saying to yourself, well, what about now? I think if I'm correct, I could be off base, but I've said this before. If you can get it for around 105, 110, I still think that's a good entry point. Do I think that if you get in now, you're missing out? No. And I think if you DCA, dollar cost average, for those that don't know, I think that's still not a bad, kind of jump in point at this current, price, because if it does drop down, it's not that far, it's not that much farther from its current price point if it were to drop from like $100. Now, if it was like 150, 200, it'd be a different conversation, even though I strongly believe it'll perform well long term. But that doesn't mean I should think that you jump in now, because I have an expectation that with Evolving Skies being a very popular set, it's still in the current meta in regards to competitive play, and it's more than likely going to be reprinted for competitive viability. I don't think once it hits that 150 plus point, it'll be worth it until you get that reprint. Obviously, with Vivid Voltage, we saw the price of it go all the way up to 220, and then it got a reprint, went all the way down to 120, then went back up to 160, and then reprinted again all the way down to 100. So that should really be a indicator in showing you that these sets can get reprinted because of the demand, and you can see an absolute tanking of the booster box prices in current Modern. So don't ever FOMO in and wait for these opportunities. But had to get that one out of the way because I do think it's a very important one. So this next one is going to be a little bit of a combo. It's going to be specifically some of the booster boxes in the black and white era. Now, of course, when I talk about opportunities a lot in this channel, do I think that with some of the current prices, I think they're worth getting in? Yes, of course. But do I think that within the next year, as the black and white box prices continue to drop, you're going to see even better opportunities? 100%. So we're going to take a look at one of them is going to be a Plasma Freeze booster box. For those who don't know, Plasma Freeze, as kind of the given, was a very, I would say it was a very mid set in regards to its overall popularity. We can take a look and see for those people that want to know some of the cards in the set. It has some actually really good pulls. It's a better set than Plasma Blast, which was not a very popular set, but it has an Empoleon Secret Rare, Garchomp Secret Rare, Ultra Ball Gold. You've got a waifu card with Professor Juniper. And then you start getting to the Garbodors and the Sigilyph, but still you've got, Deoxys, Latios, EXs. You've got some good pulling cards that you can really get in the set. So as far as it goes from an overall kind of cards in it, it's a really, it's a cool set, especially if you're a big fan of the, Pokemon, oh wow, how am I spacing? Pokemon Platinum era, because Garchomp and Empoleon were two popular cards specifically within the Level X era. And so I think that when it comes to the value of the set, obviously you're seeing right now going for around 1,675. I've seen it sell on offline sites. That sounds kind of weird. Sorry, like places like Facebook Marketplace and Facebook groups. I've seen it sell for around 1,500. I wouldn't be surprised if you could see this go all the way down to 1,200. But in my personal opinion, I think that within the near future, seeing that it's dropped from as high as $3,000, I think you've seen sales back in start of 2021 at that price, and now it's retraced about 50%. I think that if you can really find it below 1,500, I think you're finding yourself a bargain. I've talked about this before as well. Taking a look at Plasma Blast. We can go and see, because I actually was watching this one. Under my watch list, we go to the bottom. Where is this Plasma Blast? It was not that far. There it is. So that actually, this is not actually the lowest listed sale. We actually saw one not that long ago. I had on one of my videos. It sold for below 1,200. I think once you start to see it really break, 1,200, bro, for Plasma Blast, I still think that's great. Obviously not the most popular of the set, but in my personal opinion, I think that as far as it goes, a lot of these black and white sets are very much underrated. Obviously you say to yourself, oh, Execute Gold and Verzion and Dusknoir, nothing crazy, but still you got the Palkia, you got the Dialga, you got the Jirachi. You still have a couple of good hits. You've got the Master Ball, you've got the Rare Candy, you've got Iris Waifu. You still got some good pulls in here. And whether you say to yourself or not, well, I just don't think these cards are cool. From an undervalued perspective, when you're starting to tell me that I can get black and white booster boxes sub $1,000, low $1,000, and I can, almost the same price at its peak was getting X and Y Evolutions booster boxes for around that price, or you're saying Phantom Forces booster boxes for, more, that's an opportunity that I can't really pass up on, because that is a crazy good value in my personal opinion. Especially once, like I said before, with this specific set, you start dropping below 1200, because I think long term, from an investability perspective, of course not financial advice, just a guy talking about Pokemon with, a financial aspect to it. I think that you could really see some opportunity when it comes to the black and white era specifically. Very, very, very undervalued era, in my personal opinion. And what I think I've speculated on this before, and I'm kind of going to stand by this. I think that you start to see kind of a rotation in regards to what sets become more valued over time based on the remasterings. Obviously, we've seen a lot of the individual level X cards, the values of them started to get realized recently since you've had the remakes of the games. And so for that reason, you saw an absolute skyrocket in price where these level X cards, went up exponentially, like far greater than a lot of these other single cards that were going for, literally you could buy a level X PSA 10 for like, at its low, $20 to $50. And then you're saying to yourself, now some of them are $1,000 to $3,000. Like, that's insane. It's overvalued in my personal opinion, but that just should show you the hype that's kind of gone into it. And that's mainly because of the reprint in the Arceus set. Well, what's the overall next generation that's more than likely going to get reprinted? It's the black and white era. And, prior to the reprint, or not the reprint, sorry, but prior to the remastering, the Diamond and Pearl era was vastly undervalued, and now it's vastly overvalued. In my personal opinion, I think black and white's going to be the next one that's going to be vastly undervalued currently, and you're going to see a huge opportunity when you do get that kind of resurgence of popularity in regards to the remastered game. Not 100% positive that of course it's going to be remastered, but I'm like 95%, because we've got Fire Red, Leaf Green remastering Gen 1, Gen 2 Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Gen 3 we had Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Gen 4 Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Every game leading up to it's been remastered, so I don't see why they wouldn't. But yeah, black and white era, huge era in my personal opinion. Now, here's an interesting one that I'm going to talk to you guys about. And like I said before, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Understand the difference between now versus I think in the future. You can, of course, get in now, but also understand your risk to reward ratio. And do you think it'll drop more? Personally, I think it will. So personally, I like to hold my reserves in getting in now. But if you're someone that I would like to get in, buy some of this product, then it's still something that is an opportunity at the current moment. But Platinum Arceus Factory Sealed Booster Box. So at one point, this was selling for around $6,000. At its kind of peak, registered sales, I think I saw for around 5,000, more confirmed by sources that are important, because that's what you want to see. You want to look at these kind of how are the ratings. That's of course what's most important when looking at the sales data. Platinum Arceus is a very it's a very, very cool set in my opinion, especially when you say to yourself the upcoming game is Arceus. Now, with that being said, obviously this is a booster box going for around $3,000. Whether you want to say to yourself whether that's undervalued or not, when you have Diamond and Pearl base set selling for around the same price, and this has way more pull opportunities. Diamond and Pearl base set, don't get me wrong, you pull that Empoleon with like a 7 pop, and you get a 10 in it, that's like several $1,000s. But if you get a Torterra, you get an Infernape, you're looking at anywhere between $600 to $800 if you're lucky enough to get the PSA 10. Arceus, you've got the reverse rare slots, which has the secret rare Arceus cards. You've got multiple of the Arceuses you can pull. Let's just take a look and see just some of the cards that you can get in the set itself. Let's just look up Arceus. The overall set itself, set name, here we go, high to low. You got the shiny Ponyta, you got the shiny Shinx, you got the Gengar, you can pull a Charizard in, you can pull a Bagon, you've got all these level X's, and then you start getting to these secret rares, which I was buying these actually not that long ago for $1 or $2, and they're obviously gone up drastically more. You can get the Tangrowth, not super exciting, but still a level X nonetheless. You get all these other rares. You can still get some, cool holo rares such as the Gengar. But honestly, guys, the absolute amount of pulls that you can get from the set. And then you say Diamond Pearl. We see Diamond and Pearl set. say to ourselves, Infernape, Empoleon, Torterra. I mean, these are all hollows, but they're not secret rares. They're not, shinies. And you're saying to yourself that, last sold history on a regular Diamond and Pearl booster box was for around, $3,500, and you're getting this for less. At this current price, I think once again, you have to gauge your opportunities. I think it'll go down more in the near future. But considering that it started to go down as drastically as it has for a set that, in my personal opinion, is as cool as it is, I think you're going to really start to see opportunities for it, especially if it does start to get into that $2,500 to $2,000 range. Not saying it's going to get there, but I am saying that as it starts to fall below 3,000, then I'm going to start to get more excited and look at it as a really good opportunity for a set that, could perform really well long term, especially because it's in that level X era, which was vastly underprinted. And when you're saying to yourself that these level X cards are going for so much and these booster boxes are retracing so aggressively, then you really got to ask yourself, why is that happening? And it's really just coming down to level X cards being overinflated currently, and the opportunity for these booster boxes are really starting to pop up. Now, the next booster box we are going to be talking about is Furious Fists. Now, a lot of people might say to yourself, Furious Fist, really? Some people think it's a cool set. Some people think it's not a cool set. Regardless of whether you think it's a cool set or not, it is a set, in my personal opinion, that has retraced drastically, especially when having a conversation about the XY era older sets. We can take a look and see when the set itself, when did Furious Fists come out? Pokemon set for Furious Fist came out on August 13, 2014. So it's, one of those sets that came out right when the XY era came out. So it's really it's an old XY era set. And the fact of the matter is, this set at one point was going for around, I think, 1,800 was its high. And we have a sale literally 5 days ago that sold for $653 plus like $15 in shipping. This set has almost gone down 66% since its overall high sales. It's an older XY era set. It's, you can make an argument whether it's a mid-tier era set. We can once again take a look at it and say to ourselves, obviously, you want to make the opinion for yourself if you really care what's in it. It's got the Mega Lucario. Actually, hold on, let's see. Furious Fists. Why is it not showing the cards for Furious Fist? That's kind of weird. Let's see if I can actually look that up. Furious Fists. Oh, that's weird. Furious Fist, the set list in and of itself. Here, let's do an advanced search. Sorry about that, guys. Let's do a little bit of an advanced search. Go down to the XY era. Look for Furious Fists. There we go. All right, so here you can take a look and make the judgment for yourself whether you think this is a cool set. But Lucario EX, it's got the Karina, it's got a Dragonite EX, Mega Lucario, other late Mega Lucario. It's got the Fossil Researcher, Mega Heracross, Palpitoad, another Dragonite card. So it's like when it comes to the overall set itself, my personal opinion, I think it's kind of mid for sure. Nothing super crazy. Cool, nothing, complete trash. But in my honest opinion, regardless of whether you think the cards in it are cool or not, I still think that the retrace that the set has seen has started to aggressively retrace back down to, in my personal opinion, appropriate evaluation. I think once you start to really push it down to, the $600 to $500 range, I think this is just an opportunity that's too hard to pass up on, especially when you're telling me that for that same price point, I'm going to be able to buy myself, I said $500 to $600. A set like, Breakthrough, which was not a crazy exciting set. Team Up is worth more at that point. Ignore this price point. Team Up is around the same also. Sometimes it can be a little overinflated, so please take everything I'm showing you with a grain of salt. Cosmic Eclipse, though, going for around 500. And Cosmic's a great set, don't get me wrong, but Cosmic came out in 2018, and this is a set that came out in 2014. That's, about almost 8 years now. once we get into August. So the opportunity, in my personal opinion, when it comes to Furious Fists, and what it's valued at, it's absolutely insane in my personal opinion. I think the value that you could really get from it long term for a set as old as that, I think it's one that it's getting really close for me to really pass up on the opportunity. So those are gonna kind of be my main ones that I'm gonna say, but I will give a little bit of kind of like a runner-up, and it's honestly gonna be Cosmic Eclipse. And now this is gonna be for a different reason, and I'm gonna explain why. So Cosmic Eclipse, as it currently stands, is, as you guys can see, valued at over 500, and the set in and of itself came out not that long ago. The reason why I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it as a runner-up, and my opinion will change based on what happens in the next 2 years. With the current rotation with the VMAX / V-Star, if by the next game, not Arceus, the game following that, you do not see a reprint for any more of the Sun and Moon era sets products, whether it be Hidden Fates, which I know there's been rumors, I can't tell you if it's verified to be true or not, haven't heard anything from my distributor, or whether it be Cosmic or anything. If there is a reprint, then I think it's going to be one of the best opportunities for you to invest in. If, however, it doesn't get a reprint by the time we have these V-Star, VMAX sets go out of rotation and whatever the next game to come out with the next concept, whatever that is going to be, I think that is a safe opportunity to get in even at its current price, because that just goes to show you that it survived all the reprints. It's got a very high probability that it's not going to get reprinted again. It's within that kind of range of, like, it's been 5 years at that point, where it's got a really, really solid floor, and it's just a safe pick in regards to a strong booster box. Now, of course, you want to obviously say to yourself, well, is the upside potential as high as some of the other sets? I would say no, but if you're looking at a set that once it's kind of gotten out of that range of potential reprints, then you're going to say, okay, it's got that safe floor, it's got that safe percentage gain, that it's been, literally untouched in regards to price drops during this whole crash. It's been standing super strong, as along with a lot of these other Sun and Moon era booster boxes. And I mean, even like Unified Minds, for example, it got a reprint, price went from 300 to 120, and now it's back up higher than it was prior to the reprint. So if that doesn't show you a strength for the Sun and Moon era sets, I don't know what does. So like I said before, once you start to see within the next 1 or 2 years, if sets like Cosmic, sets like Unified, sets like Unbroken, Team Up, if they get reprints, those are going to be huge opportunities to invest. If they don't get reprints, once it gets out of rotation, I think you'll have a huge opportunity. Cosmic being one of them, I think you could make an argument for that. Of course, like I said before, if you can find yourself a good opportunity for Unified Minds or a good opportunity for Unbroken Bonds, go for it. But please be aware, once again, when it comes to these booster boxes, when I say good opportunity, I mean, how do guys say, I found an Unbroken Bonds booster box for $350. Is that a good deal? I think that's a pretty good deal. Unified Minds, $250. It's a pretty good deal. And I mean, with recently what's been going on, there's been a lot of older product that's been resurfacing. XY Fates Collide, it was going for around $400. And now you can get it for as low as $268. And I looked at it, it is as low as $268 plus shipping. We can take a look and open it up. Yeti Gaming, over 50,000 sales. That's a huge retrace, and that's coming off of old product supply that we just happen to find, or my distributor. Now, with that being said, Lost Thunder, you've seen a little bit less of a kind of showing in regards to price drops, but still $334 for a set in the Sun and Moon era. I still think if you can get your hands on it once again for cheaper, then that's great. But obviously, my last video I talked about, there's been some resurfacing of it, so I'm hoping it'll go down more. But once again, these are some other booster boxes to kind of take into consideration when looking at a lot of opportunities. In my personal opinion, Fates Collide specifically, really want to take a shout out to that, because an XY era booster box that isn't Steam Siege, right? Taking it with, once again, everything with a grain of salt. It's an Alakazam set. Some people like it, some people don't, but I still think there's opportunity to be found when it comes to investing in these booster boxes. But as far as it goes, as always, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. That is how you enter into our weekly giveaways. You can enter in 3 times by commenting and liking on any of the 3 videos we post each and every week. Each winner will be getting 6 Fusion Strike booster packs, and then like I mentioned before, the expectation is we're going to hit 1,000 subscribers by the next set coming out, Brilliant Star, and so each winner at that point will be getting 8 Brilliant Star booster packs, so that'll be very exciting to hopefully see within the next month or so. But as far as it goes, that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.